What in the world am I looking at? I am absolutely terrified. We have the Assault Break Part 2 balance patch set to be released, easy for me to say, on Wednesday, March 19th, which is just a couple days from now. I haven't looked at anything other than this screen right here, and I can tell you with 100% certainty that this patch is going to be an absolute joke. So let's get ready to laugh, because there's no way they're putting stuff they're nerfing on the big thing here, and buffing LEAFEON, Zeraora, and Comfey already feels like a giant mistake, and I don't even know what they have. This is the Japanese patch notes. If the English patch notes drop during this, we'll switch over to that, but I'll leave a link to this Discord server in the description if I remember. If I don't, just tag me or tell me in the comments and I'll do it. So yeah, hopefully the English translation does drop during this so we can actually look at that. Ooh, I like this. So Gyarados is getting a buff. LEAFEON, Zeraora, Pikachu, Comfey, and Greninja are all getting buffs, and we're getting nerfs to... Oh, was that it? Yep, that was it. Perfect. Oh man, this is wild. We're getting nerfs to Suicune, Aegislash, and PSYDUCK. Aegislash getting nerfed is weird, but let's just go straight into this. So looking at Gyarados, it gets a 30% shield increase on bounce. It also gets a move speed increase, I guess, during its Unite move. Bounce often left Gyarados feeling vulnerable while charging, making it difficult to execute effectively without catching opponents off guard. To improve its survivability in such situations, the shield amount has been increased. Additionally, Dragon Current frequently failed to hit opponents due to opponents escaping during the charge phase. To address this, the movement speed while charging the Unite move has been increased, making it easier to close the gap and land the attack. I like it. I don't think bounce is really hard to hit at all. I mean, it's a really low cooldown unstoppable move that gives you a shield, and now you just get a bigger shield. That's cool, I guess. So I don't know, could bounce get canceled if they broke the shield? I don't think so. But either way, these are nice changes to Gyarados. Gyarados has never been a bad Pokemon. These are really, really nice buffs to Gyarados. Thankfully, they didn't really buff the damage. But yeah, I mean, LEAFEON, dude, there's obviously, I think what they're doing is just they're slowly adding in the defense penetration to all the speedsters. Hopefully, that is all they're buffing on LEAFEON. You see stats right here. I am praying that is all it is, because LEAFEON is absolutely absurdly overpowered as it is. It does not need the buff. It does not need this stupid defense penetration buff. I think the defense penetration buff was a mistake in the first place, and that is what it is. What are we doing? Okay, they did add defense penetration. Why are we buffing Razor Leaf? Razor Leaf is so broken. What are we doing? I guess it's only while returning, but that is an absolute... This is ridiculous. And Leaf Blade also getting a damage buff. I guess, sure. Like 10% is movement speed reduction buff, not a damage buff. But why are we buffing Razor Leaf? Why? LEAFEON is the best character. It was already one top like 5-6 character in the game in solo queue. I don't care about ranked or competitive play. We're not talking about that. LEAFEON's dumb. Like, why? To further emphasize the speedster role, LEAFEON has gained the ability to ignore a portion of the opponent's defenses. Cool, don't care. Both movesets had a low win rate. No, it didn't. Win rate does not mean, first off, win rate does not equal bad Pokemon. We all know this. It just means it wasn't getting played because every other speedster was getting played more. So Razor Leaf's damage has been increased for further damage output, and Leaf Blade's movement speed reduction has been buffed to make it easier to follow up with Solar Blade. I mean, one thing that is interesting to point out about this is that the fact that they're pointing out that Leaf Blade is meant to be played with Solar Blade. It is interesting that they're pointing that out. It's interesting that like they do have that thought process that these moves are meant to be played together. Now, it's crazy that, you know, the devs will directly say something like that, and then people will still play like Razor Leaf Solar Blade, or Razor Leaf Leaf Blade, I mean. Which, it's not like a bad build, obviously, but like, it's just interesting that the devs think that, yeah, these movesets are meant to be played together. Obviously, that's what they like are built to do, but it's interesting to like actually have it said in writing that, you know, they expect you to play Leaf Blade and Solar Blade together. I like that. Okay, Zeraora did not get the change to defense penetration, which thank God, because that's cool. So they increased its basic attack speed from 0 to 7.7% increase, just a basic attack speed increase. I guess that's fine. And then a wild charge cooldown nerf or buff of 1 second. Okay, this is a fine buff. Okay, Zeraora already had defense penetration. and no changes have been made in this update. Okay, so it already had defense penetration. I didn't know that. Maybe I didn't know that. Whatever. Both of Zeraora's movesets have low win rates, so its attack speed has been increased to make normal attacks smoother after Spark, to adjust for higher damage output after Volt Switch, and Wild Charge was difficult to use. No, it's not. So it's high risk win miss. I guess that's fair, but just don't miss it. So its cooldown has been reduced. Wild Charge is one of the top 3 most broken moves in this game. If you followed me for a long time, you understand why. Like, just any move that gives you long-term invincibility that can one-shot certain characters, I think is dumb. So at least it's not an outright damage increase to Zeraora. I'm here for it. And I guess it already had defense penetration, so all right, cool. They didn't buff it too much, so yeah. Zera's a character that I'm so shocked we haven't gotten to this point yet, that if it ever gets that just right tweak, that right buff, Zeraora is going to dominate this game. It hasn't happened yet, but one of these days, Zeraora will be unquestionably the best Pokemon in the game. Could this be it? I doubt it, but you never know. Pikachu, another character that didn't really need a buff. It's getting a buff to its defenses. Okay, that's fine. Also, Volt Tackle movement speed increase after landing 30% for 2 seconds to 60%. Okay, so you just move faster after landing. Okay, that's a mostly fine buff. Compared to other attackers, Pikachu had lower durability, so its defense and special defense have been buffed. Volt Tackle's movement speed boost has been buffed to allow safer 1v1 engagements. That's fine. It's going to be a little bit more annoying to, track down Pikachu after Volt Tackle, but it still has to, like, jump into, someone to get it off. Now, obviously, if it's in a 1v1, like they're trying to buff, it's, 1v1 fighting here. Different story, but in a team fight, doesn't really change a whole lot, so I like it. Good buffs for Pikachu. Still a pretty good character. Okay, Comfey. Sweet Kiss, shield amount when attached to an ally, 20% increase, and then a movement speed increase on Sweet Kiss Plus from 30% to 40%. Sweet Kiss has a low win rate and usage rate, so its shield effect and movement speed increase have been buffed to enhance Comfey's support capabilities. I mean, I guess, sure. You shouldn't play Sweet Kiss. I mean, it's cool. I mean, you can play Sweet Kiss on a character that has, like, healing. I mean, you just shouldn't play Comfey. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Don't play Comfey. Comfey is cringe. If you play Comfey, you're bad. You're a bad person. All right, moving on. Greninja had its HP increased from, it looked like it's just gonna be a wait a minute, what? I'm confused. So just an HP increase, but then they nerfed Water Shuriken's healing by 25%? That's absurd. And then its copy damage has been increased on Double Team. Greninja had a lower durability than other attackers, so its HP has been increased to align with general durability level of attackers. Water Shuriken healing was strong, allowing Greninja to sustain through team fights too easily, so the healing has been reduced. In exchange, Double Team's copy damage has been increased to make Greninja's evasive playstyle more effective. This is terrible. 25% decrease on healing is a joke, because its healing wasn't great as it is. Like, it was fine. Let's go look at Mr. Greninja's healing on Water Shuriken. Explode. All right. And restoring users' HP for each opposing Pokemon hit. And the decrease of, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it needed to nerf its healing, but you need to use Suicune. Whirlpool cooldown, full second. Ice Beam cooldown, full second. Yeah, that's about what you expect. Cooldown nerfs to Suicune. The hindrance effects of Whirlpool and Ice Beam were too strong, allowing Suicune to frequently freeze opponents and disrupt battles. To reduce the frequency of these effects, the cooldowns of both moves have been increased. I mean, cooldown nerfs typically don't do a whole lot. Suicune's still going to be really good. Moving on. Slash Wide Guard has a 15% shield decrease. What? That's a wild nerf. Wide Guard shield value was too high, allowing it to negate damage from most attacks. The shield amount has been reduced to make it more important to time and position Wide Guard effectively. Sure. It's a fine character, middle of the road. I think it was like slowly starting to get more play, but I mean, now it's not. So that's cool, I guess. Then we have Psyduck. More nerfs to the duck. Starts cooldown, 1 second nerf, a bubble beam, a half-second cooldown. All right. Psyduck's hindrance abilities were too strong, so the cooldowns of Surf and Bubble Beam have been increased to reduce the consecutive hindrance effects in battle. Sure, again, same thing as Suicune. Still going to be a good character. Cooldown nerfs don't typically do a whole lot because there's so many items and emblems that can lower cooldown. So obviously it's longer still even with those, but it's a cooldown nerf. Doesn't really change much. Characters are going to be incredibly annoying to play against. And then we have a issue where Miraidon's parabolic charge caused the cooldown timers of charge beam and electro drift to display incorrectly despite being reset. So they fixed the bug with Miraidon. That's cool. Overall, big winner of the patch, probably LEAFEON, because character did not need to be buffed at all. So that's cool. Enjoy the LEAFEON meta, as we just got out of an Absol, Talonflame, Scarada, Gengar meta, which all 4 of those characters are still insanely good, by the way. So LEAFEON just gets to be the best one now. That's great, because it wasn't the best one before those changes, and now it's the best one again. LEAFEON wasn't the best speedster for like a week, so they had to go ahead and buff LEAFEON. Yeah, and Gyarados, I like the changes to Gyarados. I think that will be fun, but yeah, just why are we buffing LEAFEON? I don't know. That's pretty much all I got for this one. Let me know your thoughts on the patch down below, and I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.